Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, and welcome to Elrond Day here on Lord of the Rings Home. Now, I want to talk to you all about Elrond, his impact in the game. I have done some arena footage here. Now, this morning I was feeling a bit under the weather, so I wasn't sure if I was going to do a video or not. So I did some arena attacks with Elrond when I unlocked him, and just kind of did it pre-recorded because, again, I didn't do it live here or as I'm recording this video because I wasn't feeling that well. I also did go ahead and unlock Elrond, like I said. His adventure was pretty, I want to say disappointing, but it was very easy. Let's put it that way. So if you were ready to do Elrond, his event was super, super easy, which is good, I guess, for people that they didn't need to invest too heavily into the characters that were required to unlock Elrond. Now, for Tier 5, I ended up using Naramiri, Eladin, Elrohir, Lomian, and Leliel, like I showed off in some of my previous videos that I was upgrading. The irony is that if you wanted to, for whatever reason, if you want to go back and do Tier 5 of it, once you've unlocked Elrond, you can actually use Elrond in his own battle. I don't know why you would want to do this, but if you wanted to test it anyways, you could hypothetically do this just for shits and giggles. So Elrond has had a serious impact on my roster already so far. The great thing about this event unlock is I think you could probably do it at like level 35 G4. Because even though I kind of carried this with my Eladin, that I think that, I know that my other characters didn't die. My Lomian and my Leliel, they didn't really die, which means that the enemies were pretty weak. I believe my Lomian and Leliel are only like level 30, so it wasn't that super hard to do, which is great that you don't need to put a lot of investment into the characters to unlock Elrond. But I think that a lot of people who are looking to slide Elrond into their team are going to have probably at least Eladin and Elrohir leveled up a fair bit anyway, so the event itself is pretty easy. It's going to be around for 7 days, of course, so if you're not quite ready for Elrond yet, don't worry, the event's still here for 7 days, so keep farming if you think that that's what you're going to do. Now, they released this at midnight, was the kind of offers that you can get if you want to spend further to get Elrond. You can get 4 offers of Lomian and Leliel at 20 shards apiece, or 40 shards for $10 US. This is in Canadian, so you could get this up to 4 times. So that's going to be 80 shards of Lomian and 80 shards of Leliel. Now, if that's still not enough for you, then, and you haven't been farming, which hopefully you have, you can buy these Elven chests for 400 gems apiece, which are not very good. They have 2 pillars, essentially. One guarantees Leliel and Naramiri shards. The funny thing about this is one's a node, one's on the guild campaign. And then the average here seems to be about between 5 and 10. You have a 52% chance or so at 5 shards and 26% chance at 10. It goes down a lot from there. Past 15 shards, you're really not going to have a chance at that. And so that's Lomian and Leliel and Naramiri on that side, and then you have Elrohir and Lomian on the other side, which most people are going to be locked, I would assume, behind Lomian and Leliel. Those are the 2 node farm characters, which depending on how many refreshes you did a day, those are what people are going to be lacking the most, in my opinion, because the other 2 are on guild campaigns and pretty easy to farm. Now, the R1 offer is still actually around here if I wanted to get it a 4-star. I haven't quite, it's here for 8 more days, because I am going to be sliding Arwen into my team, and we'll talk about that a little bit, but I haven't done so yet. I kind of want to show you guys my roster. This is Elrond that I got to 3,800 power, level 55. 43443 on his abilities. We're going to go over that. Now, I spent about 1.1 million gold to get him to level 55, to get him to gear tier 7, and get the related ability upgrades. Now, that's probably what took the longest time, in my opinion, because it is just waiting for the gold. And I'm not done yet, but we're going to go through his abilities one by one. And if you did happen to unlock Elrond, we're going to talk about the priorities, in my opinion, for these abilities, because it does add up. The amount of gold and ability materials that you need to get a fully maxed character, or just get one character up as much as you can, takes a lot of resources. Now, for his leader ability, he's got a lot on here, but what's the most important is the level 4 on Rivendell squad member turn. If they have no Banes, gain Fortitude for 1 extra turn, which is 50% resistance. It's really important for Eladin as a tank, but also important for Eladin if you have his level 6 special 2, because he's going to get 1 energy basically per boon that he has on him, so this is going to be really important. But just in general for your elf team, this is going to be pretty good. But for level 5 and 6, not only do you need green ability material, which is the epic ability material, I got this from the Eladin tier 6 event, or tier 5, tier 6 event, one of them. And that was the only place where you can really get green ability material. It's not farmable in the game right now, and so I don't know what their plans are for this, but it's specifically for the leader ability. So I could get this to level 5, but that's as far as I'd be able to go, because I think level 6 requires 20 of these, and I don't know where I'm going to get that. But that level 6 is going to be very important, but for right now, if you do have Elrond unlocked, just getting to level 4 is going to be important. Now, his basic, Ageless Wisdom, you only really need to get it to level 3. I'm obviously going to get these upgrades more, you know, as I am able to do so, but it's just damage, and level 3 always grants regeneration on his hit, which is pretty important there. So his Villia's Light, that's special 1. This is the revive mechanic. This is also his group healing. Now, I took this to level 4, because level 4 added on, if there are no elf allies, gain 1 stamina, so that sometimes if I'm fighting against a high AoE heavy team, I will use this rather than revive, because I don't want to hold out too long until everyone, you know, until I need to actually revive someone. I'd rather heal people up early on. It does grant protection, which is just basically it's armor plus 50. So this is really good if it lands on Elrond, especially if he's tanking for that. Armor, you know, it's just defense up, that kind of thing. Only to one person, though, unfortunately, it's not group-wide. But nonetheless, what is good is obviously the level 6. So if you can't go all the way to level 6, just stay at level 4 for now. You do get regeneration at level 5, but level 6 is going to be the most important thing, where you get 2 stamina, or 2 energy, basically, if you're not reviving. And that's going to be really important for him, kind of like just rehashing the ability over and over again, more so. His Wrath of Rivendell, this is one of the most important skills. It has a really long cooldown, but it's so important for Arena. Now, I'm trying to get this to level 6 ASAP. Like, this is what I'm focusing on right now. My next upgrade is going to be level 5, and then my next upgrade after that is going to be level 6, because you get the 2-turn slow duration AoE, and that's going to be majorly important. And the damage is actually pretty good. So this is something that's really worth having. And once you get level 5, you can use this on turn 2, not turn 3, because right now, as I have it, it is a turn 3 ability, which is kind of late. But if you can get this to level 5, then it's going to be a turn 2 ability, which really makes a big difference because it has slow on it. And this is a turn-based game where speed and slow is just so important. Now, his passive, not as important. Like, once you get to like level 3, I think that's pretty good, you know, because it does a lot of things, but you get a lot of it like early on. So on turn, heal the most wounded squad member for 5% of this character's max health, and 50% chance to grant them 1 stack of counterattack. I will get this to level 4, because that'll give it a 75% chance to gain counterattack, which is an extra buff, and that's probably going to be Elrond, most likely, who's the most wounded. And the first time this character drops below 40% health, gain 1 stack of Unbreakable for each Rivendell ally still alive if he gets targeted down. I am finding that currently right now, early in the arena, that he is being focused by the AI. We're going to go through some of the matches that I've pre-recorded, though, and I've actually been able to kill most of the teams that I've gone up against so far. And what's really impressive is I managed to do a 5k punch up in one instance, which we're going to go over too. Now, in terms of this, I'm probably going to get level 4, but I'm, like I said, mainly focusing on the Wrath of Rivendell, you know, because this will really make waves, pun intended. You know, getting this up to level 6 is going to be the most important thing. And then after that, you know, getting this to level 6 probably as well, which will be a little bit slower, but yeah, very important. Lots of purple ability material, which you'll get from Guild Chapter 5. If you're there and able to farm Guild Chapter 5, that's probably where you're going to get the most amount of purples. You get a lot daily. And if you have any additional gems that you're able to use towards this, that'll be even better. You know, I get probably a good, I want to say close to maybe 80 purple ability materials per day farming this campaign with 1 gem refresh in the guild energy. There is a lot. They actually drop fairly frequently, and there's a lot of good gold in here. So Chapter 5 is gonna, if you're not there yet, don't worry, because once you do, you'll notice a huge difference in your resources, your gold, and your ability material that will come. So let's check out some arena footage for this before we end the video. Okay, so first off, I want to show you this video that I recorded. Now, I screwed up a little bit because my mic was messed up. I thought I was talking and my mic was muted as I started this, so I can't show you what was in the beginning. But I'll tell you, this team setup that I'm fighting right here is a 5,000 punch-up. It actually might even be 6,000, honestly. I'm not even joking. I found this team. I took a screenshot. It's in my Discord if you care. I posted about this because I thought this was Isenzia, I believe is the player name. And they had this team set up. It's a bit weird. Miri, Halbarad, the three rangers basically with Frodo and Fro, the dwarf tank. And I was like, huh, because there's not a lot of synergy going on here. And I was wondering, can I punch up 6k? So what I'm using right now, this is the setup that I'm currently using in Arena with my Elrond group, is Elrond, Elrohir, Eladin, Eowyn, because she was part of my old arena meta, and then Ironhide, because I have a maxed out of gear 8, level 55. I've talked about AoE before. AoE damage is so huge, and because his hit points is so big, Elrond's still able to heal him and such and keep him alive. So it's pretty good damage. Now, what I expect to happen later on is I'm probably going to slide Eowyn out, and I'm going to put Arwen in this position. But I think, honestly, I'm still going to keep my Ironhide troll, and that's how my arena meta is going to go. But let's take a look at this anyways, because I wasn't sure how this was going to go on. So you can see the turn order here, at least for my side of the field. Elro here goes first, and he gets a special in, and then Eowyn will go do the might up on everyone else, which is pretty nice. He takes some early AoE damage, which is actually pretty fine. So now I use the taunt on Elrond here, because look at how many buffs I have. I have 3 stacks of Provoke, I have Nimble, I have, Resistance, the thing that comes from Elrond, we have Deadly, we have Regen, there's just so many things going on here, and I just take that as a way to heal everyone as well, because we took a lot of early AoE damage, but that's still 1,000 healing across the entire team, so that's really nice. You can see that Elrond's dodging a fair bit. He's a very, very good tank. He is taking some pretty high damage, and the Provoke's off, and Elrond's taking some damage. He's not, you know, he's still kind of squishy, but you can see how this plays out. Elrond's about to die. And then he gets like 2 stacks of Unbreakable, which is really, really nice. And that allows my Elrond to go in with his special 2 again and get more Provoke stacks, which is really nice to keep people away. So trying to get that regen, trying to get that healing back up onto Elrond here. And there's some hits being taken out. But then we do the Ironhide Troll, second AoE, and they're all like on death's door, at least Miri, Halbarad, things like that. So we finish off Miri, we go for Halbarad because I don't want him to heal. And here, you look and you see that Elrond is basically 1 turn away from death because of the attacks. He has no Unbreakable anymore, and he's burning. But we do get another special 2 with Elrond because of how many buffs he had when I used it the first time. He's got that Fortitude again. We're doing an AoE, and he's got all of this. Now, thankfully, my regeneration, as you can see, out-healed the burn. So he would have died, actually, but the regeneration actually ticks before the burn. Like, the positive healing happens before the negatives. So I was able to still stay alive here because the positive healing outperformed the burn. So that's pretty interesting there. We get the AoE, thankfully, because that might have been a problem if we didn't get this. Now, like I said, with the upgrade, if we get this to level 5, I'll be able to use this on turn 2 and not on turn 3. So that's probably what makes the biggest difference here with Elrond. They all have slow, and they're about half turn bar, which is really nice, so I can get some extra attacks in on them. And this is where it's a guaranteed win at this point here. Now they're still stuck onto Elrond. Elro here is doing some counterattack retaliations. You know, he's shooting them over there. And then we get another heal, and that's basically a good game at that point. And this was a 6k punch-up. Like, it was absolutely crazy. I kind of attacked this team because I was like, I'd never seen this combination of characters before, so I was kind of curious myself. But it seems that if you're fighting basically non-synergistic teams, that even with the 3 elves, that they have no problem taking out a 6k punch-up. It's honestly pretty crazy. So there we go. That was my most recent arena attack here, and that got me up to gold 1. There is some other ones that I want to show you here as well. I want to show you this kind of, what is it, the Isengard arena, Elrond Isengard footage here. So we went up against a full Isengard team, 21.3k as well. So this is a full 5-man Isengard team compared to my team power, which was 19.2k. So this was about a 2,000 punch up, but Isengard has a really strong single target burst focus, and that's why I wanted to share this with you guys, because I wanted to see, well, what would the AI do? And who is the AI going to focus? So we'll play this one out a little bit as well. Again, Elro here goes first. Usually my main target in Isengard is Azhak, because he does so much damage. Originally I thought it was Mauher, but actually I think Azhak out DPS's Mauher when he's been properly built up. So this is a pretty scary Isengard orc team. And it's not all that easy, but they're known for single target damage, not AoE. So you can see they're going in on, they're kind of going in all over the place, but they're mainly going in on Eowyn there instead of Elrond. So they tend to focus, I find that the AI tends to focus on the weakest character on the team, whoever they deem that to be. Sometimes it's Eowyn, sometimes it's Elrond, because they're both kind of lowish on total HP. The problem with the Isengard team is they only have provoke stacks and not that much of it. So it allows me me to basically focus target down the characters that I want to. We get to cleanse a little bit more, and that's why I like actually having Aowen on the team, because they get bonuses for not having Banes up, and so at least Aowen kind of fills that role for me that Arwen probably would have filled, but I don't have her available quite yet, because this is just kind of me using some of my old meta. And there we go. We get the quadruple attack with Elro here, 1733 times 4. That's like 6,800 damage in one attack. It does so much damage. And so Azak is already down, and we're at a 4v5, 5v4, I guess, in this case. And then I do some healing, I'm pretty sure. Or was I waiting? Sometimes I was, especially in the early matches, I was, not sure if I should heal. Mainly, again, like I said, the Isengard Orcs are single target damage. So only 2 of them are actually damaged. So I guess I decided, just in case one of them died, or just in case Elrond died, that I did that. I'm ability blocked, unfortunately. Putting the offense down on Malher, or one of the other most powerful characters on the enemy team, I actually really like Elodin's basic. It's very good. A very good utility there. Obviously, Ironhide carrying the team a little bit on damage, AoE damage particularly as well. Very, very strong. My Elro here does do a lot of damage, but you can't beat the amount of AoE damage that's output by Ironhide Troll. So here we finally get in the Elrond ultimate. They're slowed a little bit, which is nice. And then normally from here, I would go for Dunhar second. I don't find that Morisot in an arena context is very good. I think you'd probably get more out of having Ironhide Troll. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Morisot, never have been. So normally I would go Azhak first, and then Dunhar, and then Malher third, and then it just falls apart from there typically. But you can see that they just, as single target damagers, they just don't really have enough, I think, to keep my characters down, essentially. That they, even single target, maybe if you're playing on the offense, you would be able to focus. They're a little bit random, as you can see, the way that the AI plays on defense. But when you're playing it, obviously, you're going to be a little bit better. Now, I just love it that Elodin is just such a great character. He is an S-tier character. Even without Elrond, he's such a powerful character when you have his skills upgraded. So very, very impressive. We don't have much problem here. I just fast forward a little bit here. And yeah, I just love the fact that if you have enough boons on you, you can use your ultimate or special 2 basically back to back to back to back, and the provokes count as stacks of boons towards that. I thought it was supposed to be like unique boons, like maybe that's how they would program it, but no, even stackable buffs count, which is absolutely crazy. So you can continue to get more stacks of provoke by using your ultimate or the special 2, and I have like 5 stacks of provoke there. So I'm just gonna have an infinite loop of using that skill, and that's just really, really crazy. And I can't wait to see more of what we do with Elrond, honestly. But I also feel bad at the same time because, new characters are not content. I've said this before. I say this in Marvel Strike Force. And I think that we really need to get some news about when raids are going to be coming out, because I think this is what's going to keep the player base alive. This is what people are waiting on, and because there's not a lot to do in Lord of the Rings right now. And if you don't, and you're not getting Elrond, which, I think that over 90+% of players are not, because they weren't prepared to put money down on Elrond, that I'm concerned about the long-term trajectory still of the game, and I hope we hear some things soon. Anyways, I just wanted to do a little overview of Elrond, my experiences with him that I've used in the arena so far, and he is obviously an incredibly strong character. So my concern is people who don't have Elrond and how that's going to basically create a 2-tier system of arena, those people who do have the Elves and Elrond and those who do not. Because as you saw in my video, Elrond was able to punch up like 6k with not even a full elf team, it was just 3 of them. So kind of crazy. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And of course, until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.